The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. It's Thursday. It's Korner Booth pregame.
You ready? No debate, cause it's all. I'm too official, got the drip, I got the sauce. Bring the proof when it's time to tell the truth. I'll be at the corner booth, find me in the corner booth, yeah. Still standing and defiant, slay the competition cause I'm walking like a giant. Bring the proof when it's time to tell the truth. I'll be at the corner booth, find me in the corner booth, corner booth.
I see myself. Kate, I feel like I have not officially said this. I've tiptoed around it. Kate, will you marry me?
Do I have to answer now? Or
No, you have time. You can think about it. You can think about a way to say no without hurting my feelings if you want.
Oh
lovely. I'll send you a letter.
Just don't even.
Right, cool. Thank you. Shit. I'll send you my address later so you can send it to my house.
Yeah, I'm never giving you my address. I don't want you getting that close.
Oh, I know.
Gentlemen, welcome into the Korner Booth pregame. I'm your host, Jared Clem, alongside a cast of amazing fucking characters. First off, joining us live from a porch somewhere in the middle of fucking nowhere, this man has gone MIA for the last 2.5 fucking weeks. I love the kid to death. I'm happy he's back. He's an Oklahoma Sooner. He's an Astros fan. He's also a colossal pain in my ass, and I love him to death. Ladies and gentlemen, Mason Rudge.
That is an intro right there, man.
Oh, yeah. Dude,
I don't even know what to say about that.
Come on, I got to intro you back, man. You've been gone for a week and a half. Also joining us from a basement somewhere in South Connecticut, ladies and gentlemen, he is my other co-host, one of the coolest dudes I know. He also is the even keel to my gasoline wrapped in dynamite personality. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Ordazzo.
I like it. It fits. It makes sense, and it all goes. Everybody got their Melky today?
Got Melky Cabrera shirt on. Dude, like that was like the shit when we were kids, man. Every Yankees fan had in our.
Yeah, it's got to be at least 12, 15 years old. I don't know how I still have it, and it still fits.
The fact that it still fits you makes me feel really insecure about how much weight I've gained since I was 16. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us from somewhere in the middle of the Midwest, up and up, his connection just died. Ladies and gentlemen, one of my favorite human beings on this planet, one of the only Cowboys fans I can actually tolerate. This man is also a San Francisco Giants fan and a Sacramento Kings fan. Can somebody tell him 2011 ended, but his Kings made the playoffs? Like the fucking beam, ladies and gentlemen, from the High Low Sports Podcast. Kelsey Cohen.
Yeah, I may not have my Milky, but I got my T-Rex cup. So I feel like I'm doing pretty good in my life. And by the way, 2011. I mean, you also forgot 2012 championship. You also forgot 2014's championship. So you're forgetting 2 more championships there. And yeah, it's been a long time for the Kings though.
I said 2001 because that was the Page, Chris Webber, Mike Bibby, Crash Wallace team. And also
I've lived through some miserable
Barry Bonds home run year. Also, back then the Cowboys were the Cowboys were ass in 2001.
No, they were bad.
Yeah,
they were bad.
I don't know your team.
The last time the Cowboys won 2 playoff games was '95 when they won the Super Bowl, and then they haven't won 2 playoff games since.
Yeah, I know it's all good. I'm texting one of our guests right now because his connection just died, but it's all good.
Nice.
Folks, we have our four usual suspects, plus also Kelsey and Josh are coming on. Josh, of course, rising to the occasion.
Oh, man, I'm coming back on again? Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, sweet. Well, Kelsey is also one of our favorite returning guests. This dude's attendance record on the Korner Booth is spotless. So the only person who's maybe got him beat is his co-host, because I swear to God, DJ just kind of like he's like, I think he comes on here to get his crazy out because he's so professional, or at least he tries to be on your show.
Please. But you know who can never beat Kelsey? Nick Fairley.
Oh no, he beat me more times than just. Oh, he beat that. He took care of business more than just that one time. Unfortunately, I couldn't just say it's the only time I ever faced off against someone. That was just the only time I ever won.
It's still like it's still like a great bar story.
No. Then because you get the questions following up, like, oh, so you were good? No,
No, I had that one time.
I was trash.
No.
I had one moment.
You're just a 6'3" Rudy. It's fine.
No, I wasn't. I was a 6'3"
Brucey.
Greg Oden.
I was trying to at least make it funny. You had to make it fucking depressing. What the fuck, Kelsey?
I was being honest.
I just love how that movie made it seem like every single like high school and college sports team was like that, like backed behind their player like that. Like nobody fucking on any other.
No.
Nobody ever backed and chanted my name.
I'm gonna be that asshole for about 30 seconds here. Every team had that, unless the kid legit had something that like and did not allow him to play contact sports, like something actually like a physical disability or mental, whatever it was. If he just sucked, nobody fucking wanted him in the game until we were up by 50.
No, I didn't even want him in the game then. Like, let's be honest.
No. I wanted to step on the other team's throat. I was like that, but like the thing was like some of these guys were just the biggest tools in practice. There was this one kid, I was a sophomore in high school, right? And this kid was a senior. He was my size as a senior. I'm like, that's just embarrassing. And he used to pick fights with our like defense, our D1 prospect, D tackle, who was like gonna go play ball at UConn. And he's trying to pick fights with him. I watched the dude get tossed like a rag doll. And you see here, me and the other JV kids fucking crying. We're laughing to her on the sideline. The coach's like, why are you laughing? We're like, dude, he's a fucking asshole. We don't like him. Like, he thinks he's fucking Rudy, but he's just a kid from Blue Mountain State.
Let's be honest, he couldn't even make Blue Mountain State's team.
No, but you know what Blue Mountain State guy I'm talking about, right? From like that first season, like the try-hard Rudy wannabe. Yeah, exactly. That dude who's right. I'm like, that's immediately who I thought. Blue Mountain State came out when I was a freshman and sophomore in high school. So I was like, oh, this is perfect.
I'll tell you exactly how college goes as a walk-on. You make the team. Nobody even thinks you make the team. You might as well just be a team manager. You're out there as a punching bag. All you have to do is raise the GPA of the team and show up to class so you don't get penalized by the NCAA and hope and pray that you can stick around for longer than a season. That's it. There's no like, oh, go Rudy. No, none of that. There's a hey, I had one great block against a guy that's, got drafted, but then my coach lit into me saying, you got to let the defense win some every once in a while. So then I never won one after that. Like, I'm a punching bag. That's what my job is.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reality. So sorry, people. There's no Rudy franchise happening in 2023.
The whole Baker Mayfield thing is a little overstretched when the dude was literally like an elite passer in high school. He just was undersized.
There's a difference. Okay, so there's a difference between somebody like that than an actual walk-on. He's a preferred walk-on.
Yeah, I'm going to have to stop you both there because, coming on as a walk-on to, being the best player in college football, come on. Let's give him his credit where it's due.
He's not. But he wasn't a real walk. Here's the thing: Baker Mayfield wasn't ever a real walk-on. He was always a preferred walk-on, which just means they didn't have a scholarship.
He walked on at OU, dude.
He was a preferred walk-on.
He transferred to OU on a whim. Lincoln Riley was like, come over. Or sorry, Bob Stoops. He was Bob Stoops, and Lincoln Riley saw him when he was the QB.
But he was still given a preferred walk-on tryout, which is a completely different tryout than a normal walk-on tryout. Like, it's a completely different. Like, so there's tiers to walk-ons. There's your walk-ons, and then there's preferred walk-ons, which is like they're good enough to get a scholarship. You just don't have any, or they're, in Baker's case, a 2-time transfer. So
I think in his situation, it's highly, highly impressive what he was able to do.
I'm not saying it wasn't impressive. I'm just saying there's levels to this thing, and there's a different reality of living life as a preferred walk-on compared to a regular walk-on.
I agree with you there.
Well, at least we can all agree that Rudy sucks.
Yeah, fuck Rudy.
I own 3 different copies of that movie, so I can't say.
I like watching that movie so I can bully it through the TV.
I also have 2 copies of Invincible, so the Vince Papale story.
I have 1 digital and 1 on DVD.
So
came in the same package.
It is what it is.
Mace, I also love your outdoor setting today. How warm is it down there by you today?
Dude, it is. I mean, so it's 77, just a slight breeze, dude.
How is it hotter
amazing.
Up here?
Yeah, it's in the 80s.
87 to buy a house right now.
I'm at 83.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Maybe it's just the wind, dude. It's so windy down here.
Porch and do our first live show of the year with me being outdoors.
I was walking around like Walmart earlier and I saw a nice little like light sweater. I was like, oh, that's a nice little random whatever for like $15. And I was like, well, why would I buy it? It's fucking 87 degrees outside and it doesn't look like it's gonna get any colder.
And it's fixing to be summer in a month.
Yeah, we're just skipping right over spring.
Let's be honest. Yeah. The rest of us are about to get snow. Mason's about to get just a heat wave from hell, but the rest of us are about to get snow in a week probably.
I looked at Connecticut.
Because that's just how life works out up here.
You're in the Midwest. Speak for yourself. Us Northeasters, we know.
You are 6 hours away from me. It's not that far.
Listen, yeah, but the problem is we're on the coast, Kelsey. The thing is, we don't get snow unless there's snow. We got an inch total this year in Connecticut. It was brutal.
I'm just saying.
Once you get your first little day where it hits 70 degrees, you're like, oh, no more snow. We're good. We just time's coming.
Connecticut doesn't really get those reverb snowstorms after April.
Welcome to global warming.
We're bipolar up here.
Exactly. That's why it's going to snow in a week.
It's called climate change. Come on.
We get summer, fall, and winter.
It's the same thing. Climate change, global warming. It all means the same thing.
One tried to scare us.
One sounds a lot more threatening.
One was trying to scare us fourth graders, and the other one was actually legitimate.
Nice. We get summer, fall, maybe 1 month of winter, and like a couple weeks of spring.
No, let's be honest. We get about 4 months of winter, depending on how big of a dick Mother Nature is that year.
Well, this year I think we really only had 1 month where we had some freezing temps. So other than that, it was pretty much like 30 and 40.
It was weird. Like, I mean, like, so it was weird. Like, opening
it snowed more in March.
30-something degrees, but then
it
like
more in March.
Hot.
Yeah. We had more snow in March than we had in February and January.
That's insane, man. I think here, I mean, it'll snow a handful of times, but I mean, the main concern is that it usually freezes. Yeah. And that's when things get really nasty.
I mean, I'll pray for my great grandkids, but as long as this world doesn't blow up while I'm alive.
Not like we know about it.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll
be with them in spirit.
It happens.
Listen,
I'll carry them over to the other side.
Global elites and politicians and rich people keep buying houses on the shoreline. I know we're good.
Did you just call Illuminati out? Is that what you just
did? Come get me, bitch.
Oh, boy.
Beyonce and Jay-Z are on their way.
If Mason and I were running this podcast from here on out, you know why.
There you go.
You mean if it starts to improve? I'm sorry. I'll stop.
Oh, my God. All right. Well, speaking of global Illuminati, the Lakers made the playoffs, kids.
Round of applause, baby.
Adam Silver has to keep one conspiracy going.
Uh-huh.
Hey, man, let's not act like that Mike Conley performance was not incredibly fake. And honestly, you know, I'll just expand it to the T-Wolves just 3-point shooting in general. That is the fakest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I'll look at the stat right now, but I want to say they made more than probably 15 threes in the entire game. I mean, which is absurd.
And none of them were from Anthony Edwards, went like 0 for 9 from 3.
Well, exactly, Jared. That was I think.
This year from
so let's see here, 16 of 41 threes. So I mean, 39% from 3. I believe at the half, if I'm remembering correct, they were shooting just below 50% from 3. Everything was going in, and then obviously you had the stat towards the end of the ball game. In regulation, where I think the Lakers went on maybe like a 22-6 run to finish the ball game. Mm-hmm. So it was just a complete meltdown. And then, you know,
that's okay. We got the angry Frenchman back tomorrow. We should be able to beat SGA and the boys to get absolutely clapped by the Nuggets in the first round.
Don't sleep on them, man. Don't sleep on those kids, bro.
So,
dude, I think our roster is just as young as theirs is, besides Gobert and Connolly.
Well, they're the second youngest roster, and the youngest roster is Houston.
Yeah.
But I saw today
that your Houston Rockets that are going to be in the dumpster fire until about next decade.
So Timberwolves and
Heat we've got the second
right?
most picks after OKC.
They got to play them tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
But listen,
can we pause for a second? Go back to Jared talking about Mike Conley. like he's not 38 years old or something.
I think he's a dinosaur.
Oh, and that's what I mean, Kelsey.
This team is young,
incredibly fake.
No,
dude.
there's 2 old guys in the entire roster. It's Conley.
And he just happens to be one of the oldest guys in the league, which makes their roster that much older. Whereas like the Thunder are literally 24 as their oldest player.
All right. I want to talk about Kelsey's Kings though, seriously, because like they're actually fun to watch.
Can we not? Can we skip it and pretend it's not happening so I don't have to get disappointed after round 1?
No, your Giants are going to give you all the disappointment you want this year. Come on, I
can't. No, I gotta have hope for the. I'm wearing purple for a reason, man.
Well, so Kelsey, what's your, what is your outlook on that series? What would how do you feel? Does it start on Saturday? Is that game 1?
I believe so. Yeah.
Or is it Sunday? It's one of the two.
Well, we're getting that out, ladies and gentlemen. Our other guest is joining us from the middle of nowhere in God's country. The host of the Rising to the Occasion podcast, one of the smartest podcast human beings I know. This man also is my right hand man when it comes to pod development. Ladies and gentlemen, host of the Rising to the Occasion podcast, Josh Mahler.
What's up, guys? Can you guys hear me good?
Oh yeah, we're good, buddy.
Yeah, good. I had to completely set up my desk and everything. I forgot it was all torn apart, and I'm in my new studio. So
nice,
looking fancy. I even see the casting couch behind you.
I was gonna just say it.
You got to be quicker on the draw, buddy. Which could
guys, I'm out. Bye.
Off in that room at some point.
Oh man. I've heard it all now. I've literally heard it all on this show now, Jared. That was the last step to have me hear it all.
I thought that was just perfect timing, man. I couldn't help it. Oh, Josh, buddy, how's life treating you right now? I know you had the internet issues, but I'm happy you're on. We're talking a little NBA basketball right now.
Yeah, no, I mean, life's been busy, but I'm finally all set up for now, at least temporarily set up for this and everything getting going. And come to find out, I was connecting to the wrong Wi-Fi, but it has the same password, so that kind of screwed with me a little bit.
I don't care if you're in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. Stealing your neighbor's Wi-Fi isn't right unless you already know them.
Are we sure about that? Because
the Midwesterner niceness comes out, and they just set up the same password, I guess.
Is it 1, 2, 3, 4?
The password's password.
One of my manager's like personal safes at his office. Like, the punch code is so fucking simple. I'm like, dude, what? And he's like, so I don't forget it. I'm like, are you serious?
I think it's the same network. It's just like one is like it might be like one's the upstairs network, and I'm in downstairs, so I connected to the wrong one or something. But yeah,
what is it like Michael Scott saying his password is password?
Hopefully, it's like every time you try and steal my network now.
It's like every time you try and set up a password on your phone, it says choose strong password. It's like, no, everybody probably gets that.
Like the whole point is that I don't. It's always the same combination of letters, words, nicknames, and numbers and sentences, but it's like they're all mixing it up. It's always a combination of the three. So I figure by the 5th or 6th combination, either I'm logged out or I'm logged in. So that's my kind of thought process.
Wow. All right. So I'm going to be the only safe one if we ever get hacked on the network. So thanks, guys. I appreciate it. But no, I want to go back and answer Mason's question here. It is Saturday for the Kings game. And as far as looking at the outlook of it, I will say I think that's a series that's going to surprise people. A lot of people picking the Warriors to just kind of run away with that one because it's the Warriors. But I actually honestly think this is going to go 7. I think this is going to be a great series back and forth. I mean, if you look at the season series, the Kings won the season series. Mike Brown, coach of the year, has experience coaching this exact Warriors team. And if anybody watches the Warriors down the stretch, shooting was not their strong suit for the first time in their entire life. And so it's going to be a situation.
Back, or is he still dealing with baby mama issues?
He's back, but he's back, but he's not. It's like it's the ghost of Andrew Wiggins. So
Minnesota Andrew Wiggins,
basically, yeah. Cleveland.
I can make that joke because he caused me suffering.
7 games, Kelsey. You just feel like the Kings will be able to essentially go blow for blow with the Warriors from a shooting standpoint, because I feel like, the big thing with the Kings is obviously the 3-point shooting. They're very efficient. They make a lot of threes. They're almost like they're really honestly kind of like the Warriors in a lot of ways.
They really are.
So Go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah. So I mean, to your point, the 3-point shooting. I mean, like you look at just look at the big three right now. As far as I'm gonna say a big three here in Malik Monk and De'Aaron Fox and then Kevin Huerter. You talk about Kevin Huerter coming over from Atlanta. He's been a knockdown shooter, but who are you gonna really guard him with if you're Golden State? Because you're gonna be a little more focused on Domantas Sabonis. You're gonna be focused on De'Aaron Fox. You're gonna be focused on Monk. You're gonna be focused on Keegan Murray. You're not really focusing on Kevin Huerter, and yet you talk about a 6'9" guy who plays as a guard, as a 3 guard, really is, and then comes off pick and rolls, comes off screens, much like Steph himself would. Well, if you're trying to protect Steph, the logical thing would be like, oh, I want to put him on a shooter, but you're going to put him on a guy who he's completely mismatched by, who can shoot pretty much just like Steph can as far as range goes, and is just as streaky as Steph on his best day. And he's not going to give you the same amount of points, but he's going to give you high quality shots, and he's going to make more than he'll miss. And plus, they're still missing. Like Klay Thompson, post this knee injury comeback, has been not the defensive Klay Thompson. Yeah, like he's not the defensive Klay Thompson he once was. So it's like you look at that, and who do you match him up with as well? Like what do you risk there? Because there's so many aspects to the Kings offense that are just, it's surprising, because not only do you have De'Aaron Fox running the point, but you have Domantas Sabonis running as a point center.
So my biggest thing. Oh, sorry.
No, I was gonna say, just like take your pick as how you want to defend it. Do you want to defend it outside in or inside out? Because you're not going to be right, unfortunately.
My outside, Kelsey, I don't know. You keep pausing, and I don't know if you're done or not. I'm like,
no, you're good. Go ahead, interrupt. Yeah, when have we ever been polite on your show? Like, calm down.
Yeah, no, never. Fuck, this is a fucking sports bar. Look, I'm waiting for somebody to try to punch me through the screen.
One day.
One day, Kelsey's gonna fly to Connecticut just to hit me once. One thing I noticed about this Warriors team is they're not. Last year, they kind of took advantage of the fact that the rest of the West beat the piss out of each other, and they were just kind of like the last team standing, and then they had to play the Celtics. So, that being said, the West, they're like, guys, like even the 10 seed has beaten the Warriors at some point this year. It's not like they're like an unbeatable squad. And also, we have no Wiggins. We also have a slower Klay Thompson. I don't know. Like, everyone's like, oh, Jordan Poole. It's like, okay. Like, this Warriors team doesn't scare me like the other ones do. Like, even last year, I was like, oh, fuck. I saw it in the second round. I'm like, oh, we got a Warriors finals. God damn it. It's happening again.
Yeah.
But like this one, you don't see it in the water. You don't see it in the water as much. Like usually with a Warriors title, you gotta see it. It's kind of sitting there. It's like, oh, they're going to the fucking finals. God damn it! But it's like this time, you're like, oh, like I could easily see Denver. I could easily see. Oh, God, no, not
now that's
Let's pause with Denver. Let's
right, Kelsey.
Yeah.
I mean, I think let's say in a hypothetical world, in a hypothetical situation, if the Lakers would have lost to the Wolves and then they would have beat the Thunder, and it was Lakers Nuggets first round, I think more people would be taking Los Angeles in that series than they would Denver.
Which is
truly
insane.
Yeah.
It is insane, man. But I mean, I think Jokic has his limitations. And we can all agree on that. And their second best player is Jamal Murray, who we haven't seen this guy in a playoff must-win sort of like, high, stress situation since the bubble. And, people have their opinions on the bubble, how it compares to an actual playoff setting. You just don't know what you're getting. I feel like Denver is a wild card. Like, they could make it to the conference finals. They can make it to the finals. Or, they could get bounced second round by, the Clippers or someone.
Yeah.
Or Memphis. So look, yeah, I feel like, going back to that Kings-Warriors series, I think we would agree that the Warriors are probably the better team and they have the experience and, they just have the better star power. And that's kind of you think about the Kings team, none of these players really have playoff experience.
Nah,
I guess
Sabonis is the only one.
Herter and Sabonis.
Werder, yeah.
But yeah, it's just, I feel like the intensity that the Warriors are going to bring in that series might be a little bit too much for the Kings. I do think it's going to go longer than 4 or 5 games. People who are saying it's going to be a sweep are just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think it's probably 6 games, but I think the Warriors probably just end up winning that series.
All right.
Now, hold on, Jared. Before you go, I do want to ask this question to all of us. I'm just gonna interrupt you, Jared. I told you, I'm not gonna be nice about it. This is the one team I care about. Okay, and this is why. This is actually the point. How many of you remember a playoff series in Sacramento? Have ever remembered seeing a playoff series in Sacramento?
Well, I'm too young. Too young.
I was
so there's a process to this that none of you guys will remember. And that's the fact that Sacramento, for the longest time when they would make the playoffs, is far and away the rowdiest, most raucous, most intense crowd you could ever play in front of. And that was in a very spacious, very non-noise conducing Arco Arena. Like you would try to make noise in Arco, it dampens it. So now you're in Golden One and you're in this bigger center, more people can sit in there, and now you've added in 20 plus years of not making the playoffs. Yeah, that's an added benefit that in basketball does play a part. It's why Utah for so many years is such a pain in the ass to go play in. And now you have Sacramento, who's going to be an absolutely insane crowd in front of there. That's going to play a part in this. And if it's a close series, and I do believe it will be, I do think that's going to give the advantage to Sacramento. And say what you will about age and naivety and experience. How many times have we seen playoff teams make a run with zero playoff experience? Constantly. We see it every year. We see one or two teams that have zero playoff experience, zero winning experience in the playoffs, and they'll make a run into the Western Conference, Eastern Conference Finals, upset somebody who they're not supposed to.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big part in big advantage of it. And the one thing they have in common with this Kings team is quality coaching who has been there before. And Mike Brown, say what you will about him. Mike Brown is according to rumors, according to sources, one coach of the year today. Does know how to coach a team. So I think that's a big aspect of this Kings-Warriors matchup that's going to, I think, give the edge to the Kings.
All right. Before we go, because Josh has been very quiet, I feel bad he's going first on this. We're going to say the top two, like the two teams from each, like the worst case. I want to go off here. Who is the worst NBA Finals, the one you don't want to see? Now, this could be any kind, like two just good teams you don't want to see again, or just the most boring finals, or a finals that just is going to be like, okay, we're sick of this shit. I'm going to go first. I'm going to say Lakers, and I'm going to say Celtics. Because I know that if it becomes that, somehow LeBron finagles his way in and wins, he's going to bully Tatum in those overhyped Celtics team. And then we're going to hear, he's got the same amount of titles as Kobe. You can't say it anymore. And it's like, I want LeBron to retire, okay? I appreciate his greatness until he came to LA. And I'm like, dude, just fucking go already. Like, I hate this whole play until Bronny plays bullshit. Like, fuck you. Like, I wanted Minnesota to knock him out so bad. And then I wake up next morning because I passed out in the third quarter. I was like, fuck. That is mine. That is who the least, like, I don't want to see. Like, first of all, also because I live in the Northeast. Celtics fans are fucking annoying. So, I'll go next. I'll pass it to Josh. Josh, who is one finals matchup you just don't want to see?
I can agree with you on LeBron. I don't really care for LeBron. I never have. I mean, I mainly just don't like LeBron's attitude, I guess, off the court. And he's a phenomenal player. Will go down as one of the greats and top 3 greatest of all time. But I don't know. I definitely feel like I don't want to see the Lakers, mainly because I just don't feel like they really deserve that spot this year, especially with making it through a play-in tournament, which, hey, we could kind of give that to LeBron. If he were to win it all this year, guess what? We could still say, well, yeah, but if it wasn't for that new play-in tournament, then he wouldn't have gotten it. I think out of the East, I think I'd go with Philly. I don't know. There's something about Philly. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Philly as a whole, I guess. I don't feel like they're really a team I could really root for to go against. If it were the Lakers in there, I definitely couldn't stand to see. So I guess I'm going to go Sixers and Lakers. I think those are my top 2 teams.
Nice. Kels, who are you rocking? What's your bad match?
I could keep bashing the Lakers, but I'll choose somebody different. I'm actually going to choose who their matchup in the first round, the Grizzlies. I don't want to see the Grizzlies in there. I don't like anything that the Grizzlies do. I think they're just one of those teams that just It's not like it's like watching a bunch of Jamario Moons play. It's just really frustrating and annoying. And
Mario Moon.
outside of John Moran, I honestly don't really like. If Steven Adams was playing, I'd care, but I don't really care much of the Grizzlies team. I don't know. They're just not interesting for me to watch. Out of the East, I kind of gonna stick with the same thing, and this might be blasphemous to a lot of people, but the Knicks. I don't care to see the Knicks in the finals either. I think that's one it would be cool for MSG, for the Garden, for the fans, but I honestly don't care about seeing Julius Randle in that finals. No, please, Jalen Brunson maybe, but Julius Randle and the rest of the Knicks, I don't care about seeing in the finals anytime soon.
Fair enough. All right, Mr. Mason, you've been sitting on your porch patiently. Who's the one finals matchup you just dread seeing? Because I know everyone's got one.
Yeah, so I think starting out in the East, I really don't care for Giannis's game. I think it's very boring. I think it's very repetitive. He is not. He doesn't shoot at all. It's pretty much let this guy pick the ball up around midcourt and then just run at people and either dunk it or lay it up or make some contested shot in the paint or just draw a foul and shoot free throws.
Nice.
Very similar to Embiid. They're one of the few small market teams that I don't really care for. And then switching to the West, all of the years of heartbreak between the Rockets and the Warriors and seeing them send us home. I can't stand Steph Curry. I can't stand Draymond Green. Don't like Clay. Don't like Poole. I mean, there's really no one on the Warriors that I really care for. And I truly think, you kind of already see this now if you are kind of tapped into NBA Twitter. But if Curry wins another finals, you are absolutely going to start seeing takes that are comparing him to LeBron in terms of, is this guy the second best player ever? And you're probably going to see people stretch it to, is this guy the greatest player ever? So I cannot stand the Warriors in any capacity. I hate their game. I don't think seeing dudes chuck up threes is any fun at all. And if they won again, I legitimately think I would stop watching the NBA until the Rockets got good again. That would truly that would end it for me because I really dislike them.
My boy Rob Taylor's coming at you like a fiend right now. He's like, "How could you not like Steph Curry?"
Because I'm not in second grade, and I don't
we're not Chiefs
like
fans. Okay, Rob's a Chiefs fan, guys.
I don't like front runner Curry, dude. I'm sorry.
I will say this. In Mason's defense, I totally get where he's coming from. Steph Curry as a top 2 player all time never should be a conversation. Steph Curry is a top 10 overall player.
Yes,
potentially top 5 edge on the edge.
I don't know
argument if he wins again.
I don't know anybody that's really. I don't know anybody that's really putting him up in the top 2 per se. Like it's usually always LeBron and LeBron and Jordan. But what you see with Steph Curry, he has really changed the game a lot. He's just a generational player. Not only that, but he's got great ball handling skills. He can slash through the paint if he really needs to. He's a baller. I don't know how you can really go against Steph. And the same thing with Giannis. It's exactly what Rob said. Like if it's not broke, why fix it? Giannis is that's what makes Giannis so special. He's only got a couple of little things that he can do, but Giannis, you can't stop him. Try. And with Steph, going back to him, he's putting up threes, but he's not just chucking them up. He's draining them, and he's draining them from all over the court. That's just something that's impossible to compete with.
No, he's one of the most game-changing players ever. That's the difference.
Yeah, okay, hold on. That's not a debate, though.
Fair.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The conversation is down to
because I want to cause some anarchy.
Top 2 best, though, and there's no chance. And by the way, Josh, I got to disagree on the dribbling.
Wait, this guy just showed up.
The dribbling thing is he loses the ball way too much to be considered a great dribbler.
DJ doesn't even need an intro this time. I was going to do an air horn from when DJ shows up now.
You know what? It's better than you calling me John Gannon every damn time, so I'll take the air horn.
That's true.
So, listen, DJ might think I'm Nostradamus at this point because I predicted Gardner Minshew to the Colts like a month early.
Yeah, you know, you're lucky I ever come back on the show again, putting that evil on me for no damn reason.
It's okay.
Oh, man, that dude works out in the nude.
I know. I'm sorry.
The gym at the nude. Why would you put that on them?
I'm sorry. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, of course, joining us is the man, the myth, the legend, the fourth auxiliary member of the Korner Booth pregame. This man is basically our version of AJ Hawk.
You're just not even going to count him as a co-host of the Hilo Sports podcast?
And the co-host and motor behind the Hilo Sports podcast.
Whoa.
Stewart.
I think I need to request new friends.
I said that literally just to piss you off. You know that, right?
Man, engine behind the podcast.
Okay. I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, it's DJ Stewart. But Matt, I've been waiting on you to say who your least favorite finals. I feel bad, buddy. You are such a patient co-host. I appreciate you. Yeah, who's your finals matchup you don't want?
It's a real patient man to deal with you twice a week.
4 times, dude. He has my number 7 days a week. Come on.
Yeah, it's full time. It's 24. I'm on call. I really don't want to see. I'm tired of the Warriors. I mean, I love Steph.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, bro.
Listen, all right. So an example, like Rob, I like the Chiefs a lot, but it's like the Chiefs, man. I'm tired of seeing them keep going. No offense to the Chiefs. I like them. I'm just saying the Warriors, it's like that. I've seen it. I want something different. Give me variety. Give me like the variety cereal pack. Yeah, give me like you're going to the supermarket. You get the variety cereal pack. I want something different.
Find the onion ring in your french fries.
It's so there's nothing against I just tired of seeing the Warriors go. Yes, you're a great team. Yes, I get it. And then moving on to the other side of the world, the East. There's the Celtics. I can't do sports.
Boo!
Can't do it. Listen, I'm tired. It's not everybody, but I got the Pats fans that are always giving me shit for everything. Like, you'll never beat us. Go get Aaron Rodgers. You're 0-13 against us. Whatever. I got fans telling me, we've got 4 rings in the last 20 years. I got one of them too, but I got 27 of them. I don't want to hear it.
Replica Yankees ring. Let's go.
$20 at the flea market in New Haven. Anyways,
which means it's probably made out of like some like
$19
steel. Yeah. No, actually, it doesn't even metal. Honestly, holy shit.
Anyways, so I just want to see something besides Celtics and Warriors. Give me. I don't even give a fuck. I don't want the Lakers either.
Not Philly, dude. Do not say Philly, bro.
Give me the Bulls. They're obviously gonna go. It's a favorite of the whole thing. It's not like I'm a fan or anything.
Let's get those 8 seeds in here, bitches.
Let's get Bulls Timberwolves with the lowest freaking attendance rate in NBA Finals history, probably, and then we'll be
OKC Kings, dude. So they can all cry. ESPN.
They're in the same conference, Mason. How long have you been drinking for?
Sorry, OKC and Cleveland.
No, hold on. Cleveland. Nets and Suns with a full sweep of the Suns. And just a complete FU to Chris Paul and Kevin Durant.
I wouldn't watch a single game.
I would love every single moment of that. Michael Bridges,
Johnny Maserati's a big Nets fan. I'm like, bro, you realize y'all going to get fucking bum rushed, right? The second you get in the playoffs. I think it's Kelsey, DJ, and Josh, and then Mikal Bridges, and that's their entire roster.
That's a damn good roster.
I know. I feel like Kelsey's got like ridiculous range from 3.
No, fuck it. Forget that. I'm just talking about Mikal Bridges' skill. I'll just stand there. I will be Kenny Lofton Jr. in a game. Like I don't care. I'm just gonna stand there. Did you not see his score line? His stat line 42 and 14 and no assists.
I forgot that he's in the NBA. That cracks me the fuck up. I remember his daddy.
He is still fat as can be.
I remember his daddy playing baseball for the Yankees and Indians.
Who was not fat as can be.
No, his daddy can fucking fly, man.
Yeah,
I do agree with
Kenny Lofton forgot that.
I do agree with Rob down there. I really would love to see Chris Paul get a ring.
I mean, it'd be cool.
I'm on the opposite end.
I don't want to see the Suns win.
Well, I mean, TJ, you're just bitter. That's what happens. Or wait, who said he's just bitter? Who said they don't want it?
Bitter. I'm just thinking about the idea of me being on that team with Mikal Bridges. I haven't said a damn word. I'm thinking about how I'm going to be throwing oops to the Iron Man himself. I'm thinking I'm Steph Curry with my playoff defense.
I honestly kind of want him not to get a ring just because he's going to go down as one of the greatest to not have a ring. And that's, I don't know, that's just a storyline that I like to hear. And it's not that I hate
it's
Chris
like Dan
Paul.
Marino.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, and that's not that I hate Chris Paul. I love Chris Paul. He's an amazing player. I've liked him back in his Clipper days and everything. But I mean, it's just, I don't know. There's something about withholding it from him. It's just kind of like the evil side of me, just liking to keep it away from him.
So here's a question for you. Like 13 times in his career for hitting people in the nuts. This is the redemption for it.
Yeah. Like how many great players have you seen get one ring and it's just like, oh, okay, they got a ring. Woo. It's kind of a waste. Wait. Now, how many great players have you seen not get a ring and they're still talked about far and above after they're finished with their career? Really? I mean Dan Marino is the number one on that list. I think
Dak Prescott, dude.
Charles Barkley.
Please don't ever no. Mason, I'm sorry. Mason's got to go, guys. We got to hit the band hammer on Dak Prescott.
I love how Kelsey just kind of took over as associate producer today.
I have nothing. I am not touching a thing. I just requested it from the associate producer. I don't know who it was.
I don't have the rights, so
that
leaves.
It's either DJ or Josh who's pulling the strings right now, but both of them are.
Mason did it to himself.
I literally just set up my computer. You think I had time to try to log into
Josh, you were one of the most technological
3 minutes and
like I'm kind of like
salty.
Yeah, I love when DJ comes in. It just causes pure anarchy. It just makes life better.
Trying to fit in.
I did tell him he's the AJ Hawk to our podcast because he comes in and just throws a monkey wrench into everything. It's perfect.
He is a monkey wrench.
I don't know how I should roll with that.
At least I've been here for 5 minutes. I've been insulted in 6 different ways. What is this?
Oh my god!
It's from a place. I mean, I was just told that you were the engine of our show, so I got to do something.
I only did it just to piss Kelsey off. I think you guys, just like Bernie and Ert on Sesame Street, run a cohesive, collaborative relationship.
Would you rather be the engine? I'll be the hood, so I could just get dented.
Nah, I'd rather just somebody else do it for us. I'd rather be able to pay somebody else to do it for us. That'd be great.
Dude, are you kidding me? I'm trying to teach Mason and Matt how to run StreamYard so I don't have to fucking do everything on the fucking show we're running. Because I actually want to start adding graphics and drop-ins because Josh has been going through my podcast giving me fucking pointers because I need it because I'm fucking, like, being the guy who gives the pointers to everyone else. It's probably good for somebody else to
listen to his own pointers.
I'm an idiot. Yeah.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah, it's like Josh literally sent me a comment saying, I was like, oh, thank God somebody fucking give me real feedback. Because once we had
give you feedback. You didn't ask.
Kelsey, I don't want your fucking feedback.
Yeah, you do. Do you not forget that is my actual job in life?
I know it is. That's what.
That's my actual job. I get paid to do that, man. Like, come on now.
But also, like, what the best part is like me and Josh, like, we're basically Blaine's two underlings for the podcast department, and Blaine doesn't even want to be involved in it because he's like, he just wants to kind of, be a family man. He has a kid. 2 kids, all this other shit. He's got too much stuff on his plate. And me and Josh are basically doing all this other crap. And I'm like, hey, Josh, I think your spare time, you want to look at my pockets and tell me what the fuck I'm fucking up? So,
Hey,
listen, be a trooper about
everything but Matt and Mason.
Yeah, Mason got 0 bad marks.
Just take that Jared dude off the show. I think it'd be great. No,
exactly. I'm the worst of the worst.
Can you bring Jared on once a month? Like, can you limit his exposure to the show?
I know.
Very easy.
Sorry,
and it's fixed.
You little bitch! You gave away who had the controls.
One match I don't know if you guys already talked about. So correct me if I'm wrong. The Thunder play the Timberwolves tomorrow night, right?
Yes.
Correct.
So the one team that I see like being kind of in a dangerous spot, like as far as I don't think they'll make it all the way or anything, but I know Mason will appreciate me for saying this. It's OKC because I think they can beat the Timberwolves, and then you go them against the Nuggets. I don't know. I really do see like a matchup against the Nuggets that they could really take advantage of. They have the youngest, like the most talented young squad, and it used to be the Sacramento Kings. Now it's OKC taking over in the youth department. And, they're putting these peewee players out there and they're poning everybody, and I mean, they could stand a chance in a 7-game series. against the Nuggets, and I really could see them making it that far. And knocking the Nuggets
my
out.
basketball team.
Do not sleep on those kids, man, because
I'm not sleeping. That's why I'm nervous about.
Can we go back to the fact he called Shea Gilgeous-Alexander a Pee-wee player? Can we just go back to that part?
I mean, hey, man, he's.
I don't know if I
right.
can call him Pee-wee.
Josh Gaddis can only go left or right.
Pee-wee and age, all right.
Okay, fair. Okay, Pee-wee and age. Yeah, no, okay. But I was just like, I feel like that he's earned his grown man stripes at this point.
SGA gives me nightmares as a Timberwolves fan right now.
He's a better player than Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, Anthony Edwards didn't show up last night.
Listen, I want to bitch slap Cat for fucking up our chemistry when he came back.
What are you talking about? He's been screwing up you guys' since he got drafted.
Last 10 when he came back.
How about you get after Rudy for being
imbecile? I want that French bastard off my fucking team. That was the worst trade in NBA history. Kelsey was on the show with me when it happened. I was like,
and I said it was the worst trade in history. And I said,
and I agreed with you.
Out.
I'm trying to be optimistic.
I'm just telling you, man.
I wanted to slap that French bastard with a baguette across the forehead. I'm done with this shit.
I'll take my $5 Venmo payment now.
No, I said Anthony Edwards is going to be good. I didn't say anything about fucking.
He wasn't, and I told you he wasn't going to be a top 20 player this year.
He's close.
He is not a top 20 player this year.
If you take away that last game, we might have a conversation. But that last game automatically.
He is not a top 20 player this year.
Wait till the end of the season before I have to pay your $5.
Who's that, Ant?
Yeah, Anthony Edwards, not a top 20 player this year.
You are right, sir.
I don't even know.
Kyle Anderson.
I want to talk about something else because I'm done talking about basketball because it's just hurting my
I'm a Johnny Manziel the rest of this podcast.
Right,
like this
we're cueing the intro. I won't shut up.
Goes down the field for Smith.
I just love Gus Johnson. Okay, you know what? Blame StreamYard for not allowing me to upload everything fast enough. I'm literally trying to upload everything and it literally just stopped. And I was like, well, the show's about to start fucking. So it's going off my phone today, so I can get Gus Johnson off my phone.
Break down this here fourth wall really quickly so everyone can see the catastrophe going on the backside.
Yeah.
I mean, really, you only muted me too. Come on, man.
I didn't mute anybody. I was breaking down the fourth wall.
You better host.
Yeah, no. Listen, I want to talk some football. Matt also, by the way, we're bringing back the KB10, the Korner Booth 10, brought to you by the amazing folks at candidates.com. Promo code BELLYUP20 for 20% off. Listen, by the way, they just dropped their Big E packs. 50 pouches for $20. Usually a tin only has 15 in it. I just bought 2. Now I'm not going to have to re-up on mint or citrus for about a month. I am hype as fuck. Maybe it says how much I go through that shit. Maybe I should see why I go through that shit so much. Either way, candidates.com, promo code BELLYUP20 for 20% off. Official sponsor of the Korner Booth podcast, Belly Up Sports, and the Belly Up Podcast Network. Great group of dudes over there in California, which is usually I insult that state more than I compliment it. They honestly have a great product, great company. I love everything they do. Matt, I got a tin of Palmy again. I got my Arnold Palmer back. I got the peach. My 2 favorite flavors. Besides mint is my go-to because Copenhagen mint has a special place in my heart. But that being said, folks, official sponsor of the KB10 and Belly Up Sports and everything else in between. So Matt brought up this great idea. Let's talk about the 10 prospects in the draft that we want our teams to draft. And Josh texts me. He goes, hey, that's great, but I don't really have an NFL team. So I said, dude, fuck it. You judge all of our top 10s. So Mace, I know you love to ramble, and I do too. So you have to name them. You don't get to say, you don't get to explain. You just have to say, you say, oh, it's like for me, I'm going to say, Justin Jefferson looks awesome. Boom. That's all I get to say, right? You can't, we have to keep this short because we only have
10 seconds or less.
Yeah, 10 seconds or less. Kelsey's breaking
10 seconds or less.
Yeah.
No, I'm breaking out my list.
There you go. I know. I'm doing this off the rip because I just, it's fun.
On an envelope because that's how we do things.
I'm going last anyway, so it doesn't fucking matter. But Josh, the floor is yours, my friend. You are the judge. Matt is going first since he suggested the top 10. Curveball there, bitch.
So this was a top 10 list based off of any draft prospects from any year that you, as long as you've been alive and you're able to watch football and everything, that you were just begging for your team to draft on draft day, and they either did or didn't take them, no matter how they turned down their career. This is just, what the hell did you just shove in your mouth from that bucket? I just look over and he has like a
speech. I was like, wow, this went off the rails.
Dude, he had like a giant Tupperware. He's just like, oh my God.
Anyways, take yourself off screen, my guy.
Okay.
Go back.
Oh my God.
Can we get Josh's notes for the during like the episode live? Can we get that?
So as long as it doesn't matter how they however they played out in their career, you just wanted your team to draft them very badly. So my up first, number 10, I have Mark Ingram. Who did my team take? They took Quentin Coples, and I wanted Mark Ingram. Number 9, this is when it gets pretty ugly. I wanted Josh Rosen. We took fucking Sammy D, and I really wanted Josh Rosen, and yeah. Henry Ruggs just keeps getting worse. I was really hoping for Henry Ruggs, and he went a few picks before for Oakland, or for Las Vegas. 7, I got what I wanted. It was Geno Smith. That did not work out. Got punched in the face. Broke his jaw. Number 6, wanted Deshaun Watson. Obviously worked out now, but back then when your team was endorsing Josh McCown and they took Jamal Adams, I wanted Deshaun Watson.
He got in trouble.
Number 5.
You get not what happened in New York. No, thank you.
Number 5, I wanted this prospect very badly, and I got him, and I didn't want him after that. It was Darren Lee. I really badly needed a linebacker. I liked his size, his speed, and he was not good. Traded him for a 6th-round pick. Thank you, Adam Gase, for being the interim GM for about 4 days. Where are we at? Number 4. This was really bad. I wanted D. Milliner. So fucking bad.
Didn't you draft him?
Yes, did. I got what I wanted. I got his jersey and everything. I wanted him that bad. I thought he was going to be the next Darrelle Revis. And boy, was I wrong. He is fat as fuck now, by the way, if you look at his Instagram. He's a chunky man. Number 3. Yes. Number 3 was praying for this towards the end of the first round to trade back in, was praying for it when the second round came around. I really badly wanted us to draft DK Metcalf. I don't know who we drafted. I think we might have drafted like Marcus May or somebody. I don't remember. Number 2 was praising Odell Beckham, and I wanted that guy on my team badly in 2014. We wound up taking Quincy Enunwa later on. That wasn't a bad pick until he broke his neck many times. He didn't really break his neck, but he suffered multiple neck injuries. And Odell went to the Giants about 3 picks before us. That was when I think we took Darren Lee. And number 1, Sauce Gardner. I was praising that man. I wanted that guy on my team very badly. I got what I wanted. I'm very happy with that so far. Probably the only guy I'm happy with on this entire list. But that is my top 10 to 1 of who I was praying my team to take, and they did or didn't take him.
All righty. All right. So, Josh, I'm going to let you kind of just say who had the best list at the end here, because I want you to observe the fact that he's a Jets fan. His misery is already set in itself. We're going to go to the Cowboys fan at the top of the list. This man's flashing envelopes and lists. I want to see if he puts his money where his mouth is. Kelsey, you're up next.
All right. Hold on. All right, we're going to start from the bottom, work our way up. We're going from number 10. I wanted Miles Jack out of UCLA in 2016. Wanted him bad. He was a dynamic player. Just wanted him bad. Number 9, Tyler Lockett out of K-State. Disappointment. Number 8, Rashawn Slater. I think that speaks for itself. Number 7, Derrick Henry. Again, speaks for itself. Number 6, this one actually worked out finally. Stephon Gilmore. Turned it around. Number 5, Tyler Linderbaum. Number 4, Percy Harvin. What was not to love about Percy Harvin? Number 3, Gerard Mayo out of Tennessee. Number 2, Quinn Miners, Wisconsin Whitewater. You guys don't know, learn. And number 1, I thought this was the dude for sure. Brady Quinn.
Nice.
I love it.
Better than Josh Rosen.
Yeah. All right, we're going to go to the Indianapolis Colts fan now. I want to hear what DJ's got. Because here's the thing. DJ is in a weird situation. His team like me and Kelsey's, is his known success and made the playoffs a lot. But unlike me and Kelsey's team, really only has one Super Bowl show. I mean, then again, I only have one Super Bowl show for as well. So, whatever. But also, his team is in the middle of a rebuild where Kelsey's and mine are actually kind of like we're contenders. Matt thinks it's a contender until the Rodgers deal falls through.
Are we contenders?
I mean, I always
they're contenders because their division
Cowboys.
Yeah.
I never count you out because Jerry will just dumb enough for it to work, and then you'll lose in the second round. I figured that was a good estimate.
That's fair.
All right, Mr. Colts, what do you got? Make McAfee proud.
I won't, but we'll go through this really quickly. I'll go and start with the obvious one. I'm going to 2020. I wanted Justin Herbert. They had pick 13. They traded that for a defensive tackle, so that didn't go well. 2015, wanted Landon Collins. You need defense. You took Philip Dorsett. That didn't work. 2013, wanted DeAndre Hopkins, young rookie Andrew Luck, promising rookie year. You took Bjorn Warner, some German guy who's not in the league anymore. 2011, you need offensive linemen to keep Peyton Manning alive. You took Anthony Costanzo. That worked out. I liked it. 2020, you need receiver help. Michael Pittman was there in round 2. Is either him or T. Higgins, so I wasn't complaining at that point either as well. 2007, I kind of wanted Joseph Adai. That one kind of worked out. 2006, wanted Joseph Adai. You needed a running back. Edgerrin James was gone. That kind of worked out as well too. So far it's going pretty well for me. 2012, they took Andrew Luck, which hindsight was great. I still wanted them to trade that pick and keep Peyton Manning because Peyton Manning homer. So 6 and 1 and half a dozen in the other as well. I wanted Luke Kuechly because I wanted them to trade and get a shitload of picks. See, that's like 8, right? Am I losing count?
Yeah, you're at 8.
8? All right, cool. So let me get a couple more then really quickly. We're going to go all the way back here. We're going to go a little bit farther back. We're going to go to 2002. I wanted them to take a defensive tackle, or 2001, but they took Reggie Wayne. That actually kind of worked out, obviously, as well, too. So good job not listening to me there. All the receivers, no defense whatsoever. So that kind of worked out nicely. And we're just going to go to the last one. We're going to go a couple of years ago. I wanted the left tackle. His name eludes me. He's the one that Minnesota took. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But they took Kwity Paye instead, defensive end. And thusly, since then, your left tackle's been a turnstile, and 3 different quarterbacks have been murdered back there. So that's kind of what I'm looking. Was that
Darisaw?
Darisaw, yeah, thank you. Sorry, I could not remember his name. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm looking at is a lot of could be worse, could be better, and a little disappointment.
All right. I'm going to go with starting off with a fun one here. Instead of taking, a guy like, I don't know, Jarrell Casey, Justin Houston, DeMarco Moreno Cobb, we took Jaquan Jarrett at 10. So I'm going to put DeMarco Murray as 10. We ended up getting him, but that was when we had Chip Kelly's dumbass who didn't know how to use him. Number 9, I'm going to go to 2021 where I wanted Jamar Chase badly. I love Devontae Smith. So this is kind of like whatever. We got Devontae Smith and AJ Brown, so I'm not complaining, but it would have been cool to have Devontae. It would have been cool to have Jamar Chase. I'm not going to lie. 8, this is where it gets fun. We could have had a safety. We haven't had a good safety since Brian Dawkins. What do we draft? We go and rely on Sean Considine instead of drafting Eric Berry or Earl Thomas, who are both 20th picks, who are both available for trade or for at our slot. I think it was 2000. I was a freshman in high school, so 12, 13, whatever it was, 12. Number 7, CeeDee Lamb. I swear how he panicked after the Cowboys took him, and he took Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson like a fucking dipshit. He won black mark on Howie's career, where it's just like, come on, man, really? 6, Santonio Holmes back in 2006. I wanted him so bad as an Eagles fan after watching T.O. leave and then watching Reggie Brown be absolute booty cheeks. I was like, dude, I want this fast motherfucker with 20 touchdowns for Ohio State. We didn't get him. 5 is the 2013 draft, OBJ/Brandon Cooks. Chip Kelly was trying to not Chip Kelly. Andy Reid. No, it was Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly was trying to move up back into the first round or whatever the fuck it was and just refused to draft. We drafted Nelson fucking Aguilar. This is 15. We drafted Nelson Aguilar when we had trade bait. We had guys we wanted to move. We drafted Nelson Aguilar instead of trading up for Cooks or OBJ. 4, same draft, Marcus Mariota. I loved watching him in college. I wanted the trade to go through. Then I realized we were going to bet trade Fletcher Cox. I got really mad. But I didn't care about Brendan Boynton. He watched that league in 2 years anyway. 3 was, instead of drafting Carson Wentz at 2, you draft Zeke at 4 or 5, whatever the fuck or 3, where the fuck we had him. Draft Zeke at whatever it was instead, and draft Dak in the 3rd round. That was the first good take I had as host of the Clem's Corner podcast back in 2015. I never liked Carson. I tried to like Carson. I believed in the Carson thing, and I ended up being right. Dak was the better quarterback. 2 is Dalvin Cook. He sat there, and we took Sidney fucking Jones.
Great pick. That's fantastic.
Nice.
Number 1, this still pisses me off to this fucking day. Sitting there in the 2nd round of the 2019 draft, we could have taken DK Metcalf, but instead, say it with me, we took JJ Arcega-Whiteside, who is not even in the NFL anymore. And it's been 4 years or 3 years.
I gotta say, your top 10 list is pretty great. I loved every actual pick that your team actually made instead of what you wanted. What you wanted is trash. What they actually did is great.
JJ Arcega-Whiteside, really?
Fun fact, I have Jaquan Jarrett's autograph.
Fun fact, burn that bitch. Mason.
That might need to go to the hall.
Mason.
He was a Jet for about a good 3 years, I think.
If you look close, there's a nice little spot right above the dartboard. You could have it framed and nailed into the wall.
All right, Mason, fucking go.
All right, dude. I'm just gonna do top 6. So 6, share this one with Matt. Josh Rosen. I remember pre-draft, maybe a handful of days, 4 or 5. It was, the reports that were coming out of town were saying that Bill really liked him. Everyone in the staff was really high on him, felt like he could be a sleeper, and we could really get a steal with him. Thank God that we didn't. 5, Deebo Samuel, 2019, has declined since, I guess, the 21 season, but just a crazy talent. Number 4, Hollywood Brown out of OU. Undersized, but has been very good in the NFL. Unfortunate that he had to move away from Baltimore and his man Lamar, but he was just a joy to watch here at OU. 3, Creed Humphrey. I was shocked that he fell as far as he did in, what was that? Yeah, 2021. Now, I mean, he's a crucial part of that line in KC. Really, really, great lineman for them. 2, Justin Jefferson, just another receiver from that 2020 class that continued to fall. And now we kind of have seen just how good he is. And then number 1, Lamar Jackson, just a freakish talent, man, but was, an absolute wild card prior to that draft and, absolutely exceeded expectations in terms of what people thought he was ever going to be.
Mason, who's your team again?
New England.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I had to take that into consideration.
Yeah, that's why there's so many receivers on that list, man.
I like a shithead, just talked so much shit about how Bill can't draft anything before the 4th round. Josh, the floor is yours. Who wins?
Well, I think Mason was trying to win me over by going 2 Oklahoma players back to back in his little list.
Why is this fucking... No, I meant to pick you.
I got you. Hold on.
He messed up by doing a top 6 instead of a top 10. So I'm not going to put him at the top. I don't know. And then Matt's top 10 kind of cracks me up because I want to pick his to be my favorite just because he's even sitting there explaining how, yeah, this one didn't work out. And I'm glad this one didn't work out. And, and so a lot of his players, I don't know. But I mean, honestly, if I'm going off of talent, I probably got to go with Jared's to be the top if I'm going with talent.
Just because
I mean, I'm looking at his list and the guys that he wanted, but at the same time, I feel like Jared's was so like out of reach that it was like unfunny, or like it made it funny because he's like so far out of reach. He's sitting there trying to get Jamar Chase and CD Lamb and OBJ and Marcus.
Okay, CD Lamb was falling to us at 20, like it was happening.
No, he didn't. He didn't make it. Didn't fall to you at 20. Didn't happen. Forget it. Just wipe it from your memory.
So I don't know. I feel like if I'm taking the number one for heartbreak, I'm going with Matt. But number one for talent, it depends on how I'm supposed to be judging this. If I'm going number one for talent, it's probably Jared's. I think the guys that he wanted that he didn't end up getting, that definitely could have turned your team around really fast.
It's all right.
I mean, if I knew we could just pick every top 5 pick, I would have done the same thing.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Not just recapping the Pro Bowl list.
Oh, I'm sorry. I could go back in time and pick everything in the top 5. Let me read my list. Hang on. I wanted Justin Fields,
DJ,
Patrick
Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, they had Andrew Luck on the roster. So that's why I wanted Patrick Mahomes to sit by him for what would be 2 years, as opposed to what could have been 10.
So my team was the only team out of all of ours that had a realistic chance to take Patrick Mahomes with the 6th pick, and we took a fucking safety, a blitzing linebacker.
See, I think if
Matt.
If I'm being honest, I'm taking Matt's as a number one though overall, just because I know Matt's is honest. Matt's is like, you know what? Look at this is what I wanted, and I got it, but I was upset that I ever got it. And you know, like his was just so honest that I think I'm putting Matt's up there at number one. It was like tough for me to pick between Jared's and Matt's because of that, but I mean his was like down home, like honest, like he's sitting there on draft day explaining back in 2018 what he was feeling, you know.
I would just like to point out I'm the only one that selected any players outside of the first round as far as realistic goes. Like I actually
I said Creed Humphrey.
He was barely second round.
He was like
I think he was early second. But hey, you didn't get specific.
I mean, I picked a 3rd rounder. Yeah,
that was also a homer pick, Mason. I can appreciate it as a fellow Sooner. I can appreciate it, but it was a homer pick.
I could have threw in my team taking Jason Morrow when I think that might have been the year that either was like Kittle or Kelsey was there or something.
I was there. You're right.
All right. So I got one more for you guys for football before we move on to just whatever the fuck we want to talk about at this point. So Cynthia Freeland, who you know, everyone knows who she is. She does a lot of statistics stuff for NFL Network. Kelsey, shut the fuck up. You definitely know who the fuck she is. Anyway,
let me look her up.
She did her quarterback comparisons for all the pro comp. She did like he's half this, half that for all the quarterbacks, like all the big name quarterbacks in this draft. And these combinations are hysterical. I want y'all reactions quick. So without further ado, I'm putting on some rock music for this because this is just, honestly, I started looking at these and I started laughing, imagining the combination of these guys. So, yeah. So for starting off with Bryce Young, she had him as a combination of Teddy Bridgewater and Tua. CJ Stroud, Jared Goff, and Dakota Prescott. What? Yeah, wait. It gets better. Anthony Richardson, Jalen Hurts.
Did she not know that Dak Prescott actually ran the ball in college?
I know, right? Anthony Richardson is apparently Carson Wentz meets Jalen Hurts. Will Levis is Sam Darnold meets Smoking Jay Cutler.
That's just a good one.
Actually, I like that one.
That was actually really good.
And Hendon Hooker, who actually is a fucking cannon, is apparently Daniel Jones meets Jacoby Brissett.
Whoa. Time out. No. Maybe the leadership of Jacoby, but no.
Maybe, yeah. I like
right.
that.
Let's discuss.
How is he Vanilla Vic now? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, like, exactly.
Dude's ACL is like torn to fucking Swiss cheese, and he's apparently.
Can he get the Teddy Bridgewater comparison?
Even before.
Oh my god! I want to start with the Tua one because where in the fucking Bryce's games even look like Tua? I said if you said maybe like Russell Wilson meets Tua, I'd say okay, whatever.
I guess they're both kind of skinny and from Alabama. I guess that's your comparison at that point. Like,
I don't know. I mean,
probably just big arm meets accurate, and yeah.
What?
Oh my God! Shut up. We get it. You love Bryce Young.
No, I hate him. I can't stand him.
Bryce Young
I'm
has
just
a big
saying
arm,
that's
but Tua.
practical. At least that's practical. Like.
When I see Bryce Young, I see more Deshaun Watson meets Joe Burrow if we're going to do anything like that as far as escapability and quick footwork and maneuvering.
Sure.
More than Teddy Bridgewater and Tua. You wipe that look off your face.
Tyrone is the most immobile quarterback.
Isn't Bryce Young left-handed, Tua?
No.
Is Bryce Young? Oh, he's right-handed. Yeah. So where did he get the fucking Tua from? I could have seen it maybe as a lefty.
Probably
could have been like, we'll throw that in there.
Mobile
I'm being lazy
small.
and picking Alabama quarterback.
Yeah, it's like, and then throws in a random Louisville quarterback to say, hey, look, I'm not just doing Alabama guys. The Stroud one, I mean, I see the Jared Goff because of like the release and the arm strength, but like, I don't get the Dak Prescott. I mean, the Dak Prescott mobility kind of makes sense.
No, what?
But Dak
Stroud didn't run the ball?
CJ can run.
But Dak doesn't really run the ball now. So, I mean, I can see that.
But Dak coming out ran the ball over 50% of the time.
But if we're talking like right now, Dak doesn't really run the ball. So I mean, like right now, I can appreciate that comp a little bit, but I still don't see it.
Let's be honest. Dak Prescott should run the ball more to be successful. He's
should.
currently unsuccessful, so they're saying he's going to be an unsuccessful.
All right, Anthony Richardson is the one that makes no fucking sense to me. My pro comp to him was Vince Young meets like a little bit of Cam Newton.
I think Cam Newton is the obvious comp just because of the size, the speed, the arm ability. That's everything I've seen.
Carson meets Jalen. What the fuck is that? It's like an
Anthony Richardson nightmare. It took Anthony Richardson 4 games, I believe, to throw his first passing touchdown last year. I mean, you can't compare him to any quarterback who knows how to throw the ball. To me, he sucked at throwing the ball last year. Until late in the season.
Modern day Cam Newton, who probably didn't have like 7 passing touchdowns.
Maybe modern day Cam Newton, who doesn't play anymore.
Vince Young, when Rookie of the Year, had 8 passing touchdowns and like 13 picks. Like he had a negative ratio.
Hear me out. Jake Locker. Anthony Richardson is Jake Locker repeated. That's what he is. I mean, that's a strong arm, runs the ball.
Terrible completion percentage, but everyone says no, it's the traits. It's the traits.
Yeah, it's the physical attributes that
strong arm. He can't even miss the roof.
No, they're taking Mr. Mayo, boy. And I'm still gonna cry.
Will Levis might be the only one we all agreed upon. Like that's not the terrible take.
Yeah. Like listen, they said Smoke and Jay Cutler. I was like, yep, that tracks.
Yeah.
I actually say Jake Plummer as like an old quarterback, but like.
Oh, Jake Plummer meets Jay Cutler actually might be the perfect combo for Will Levis. I just think because he's white and he has a funky looking beard. The Sam Darnold. That's the only thing she got her from. Also, I say Sam Darnold 3 times and Matt has a twitch attack. So
he's immune at this point. He's battle hardened.
His jersey's stummer in my drawer.
Matt one time in college tried to tell me at an Eagles-Jets game we were at MetLife. He goes, "Yo, Fitzmagic's gonna clutch this, son," and then he throws a pick to fucking Eric Rowe.
He clutched it.
Just for
the wrong team. Also, that's the first time me and Matt ever got blackout drunk together and forgot the first quarter.
Yeah, well, what makes it better is I'm pretty sure it was Sam Bradford throwing the ball too.
Yeah, they lost to Sam Bradford.
Yeah.
To be fair, Sam Bradford had his moment.
Sleeves could sling it. Let's
be
honest.
Bitch knees, he'd have been fine.
Yeah, and then he had anybody's knees but his own.
Like if they weren't made of pure porcelain, he might have had a career. But it's hard to play quarterback when your knees fall apart, kind of like in South Park when Kyle gets those leg implants, and then as soon as he jumps, they snap.
Also, yeah, and then can we go back to the Teddy commentary and use the exact thing DJ just said, and apply to Teddy? Like what?
100%.
Anybody getting compared to Teddy better be a
lower body. Teddy's entire lower body is just like whoop.
Yeah.
I'm still confused about Daniel Jones and Hendon Hooker in the same comparison.
I'm trying to understand that one. So
explain
to me.
He does not move
Hendon Hooker never like showed me he could blow apart a defense for 80 yards and then triple it like he got shot by a sniper.
Yeah, no. I haven't even seen him run 5 yards.
Vanilla Vic's his own category. Because nobody else looks like a Call of Duty meme when he gets shot.
Lamar Light's over here, Hendon Hooker's over here when we're talking about mobility. They're not in the same guy.
I mean, if you want to,
and Jacoby Brissett is right next to.
I like Jacoby Brissett, but then next to him, I would have put Geno Smith.
Maybe current day Geno.
Current Geno, like slinging the rock around the yard, Geno.
Or West Virginia Geno. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. No, so Geno,
okay, West
not
Virginia
on
Geno,
the Jets or Giants.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's slinging it out, slinging it around.
New York.
Yeah,
I'd honestly, I'd even say, Case Keenum in college.
Maybe. I mean, I honestly see. I honestly see Hendon Hooker as being one of the most underrated quarterbacks in this draft.
I look at him this class is Dak Prescott.
And it's only because of his injury. I mean, and it sucks.
He should be the number 3 quarterback coming off the board.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
I think Rich, honestly, if Richardson didn't have a crazy combine,
he'd still be a good combine.
He'd still be the first. He'd be the first rounder, but he'd be 31, 32. Somebody would trade up with Philadelphia or Kansas City for it. It's kind of 30, 31 because the Dolphins are dipshits. I kind of look at it I really hope whoever drafts Anthony Richardson realizes it's a project. If you put him out right away, it's going to go the way of Vince Young, where he's out of the league by 8 years.
Whoever takes him, have fun.
Yeah. DJ, you should take it to yourself, man, because you're about
to
get
DJ.
It's going to be thrown. They'll have fun. They'll throw 8 times.
Man, right?
Look,
we all know
when we get the next Josh Allen mixed with Lamar Jackson, man, I don't want to hear it.
Yo, Mason's on this truth track that they're gonna keep Mac for a year, develop Rich, and there he goes.
Hate all you want, man. Hate all you want right now, man.
You guys keep thinking that it's not about to be Bailey Zappi season, and I'm gonna keep saying it, and I'm gonna state it, and Bailey it's gonna be a fact.
It was all sabotaged by Matt Patricia. We all know this was a thing,
and yet he won games, and yet he put them in position to win
against who? Who did he beat?
Games.
Who did he beat?
The Browns last year. All
That's
by
impressive.
Playing against
highly impressive win.
Against a Myles Garrett led defense. Yeah, that actually was an impressive victory.
Myles Garrett, whatever.
Hey, they won. At the end of the day, when you don't win many games, and the quarterback that comes in to win you games is your backup, maybe you consider putting in your backup quarterback to win you more games.
They did that against the Bears, and they got ran all over.
Well, that was also because you benched the rest of your starters.
My biggest issue on Mac Jones, he is basically a poor man's Matt Ryan.
An insult to Matt Ryan, but all right.
Mac Jones.
How about y'all stop talking about my quarterback? How about y'all keep my quarterback out of y'all's mouths? How about that?
No, because he's a Bama. Right now. I will say whatever I want about Mac Jones because he is still the most unathletic quarterback in the entire world.
My man, he shows up with a cigar and a beer gut. He is my hero automatically.
Josh, you were saying something before all 5 of us interrupted you violently. What were you saying now? Before all 5 of us cut you off at the exact same time.
Who was it?
You were saying something about when we were talking about Anthony Richardson before we went on this giant spiraling Mac Jones.
Oh, I know. I was just saying something about we all know that you're going to be taking Will Levis and not Anthony Richardson.
That's fine too. Run quarterback draw with him and get behind number 56 and don't do anything else.
And just hand it to 28 the entire season.
All you do, hand it to him 12 times, and then let Will Levis's Mayo boy self for Anthony Richardson scoot it out the backside 3 times.
Anybody who drafts Anthony Richardson is about to get Trey Lance 2.0. Congratulations.
Okay, so I will
enjoy the injuries, enjoy the incomplete passes.
Everyone's not. So Trey Lance shot, bust, Niners are dipshits.
No, I don't think he's a bust. I just think he still needs to sit and become an actual quarterback eventually. Learn how to throw the ball more than 233 times in 4 years.
Anybody else ever look at the X's and O's of his tape and they're like, what the fuck am I watching right now?
You mean how he threw 4 verts?
That was
basically he ran a quarterback read 4 verts.
North Dakota State's offense is like drunk Madden offense.
It's a playground. I mean, you're going against guys that you get D1 talent, D1 single A talent, in D1 AA, and you're playing in a dome against a lot of guys that aren't putting out the same amount of talent. You've also won 6 national championships in 10 years, some stupid number like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, hey, listen, like Carson won a couple, Easton Sick won one, and then here's Trey Lance.
If it wasn't for COVID, you would have won too.
You know what's so funny? Everyone's like talking about, the Niners. I'm like, what are the Niners seriously going to roll Trey Lance out, or are we just like ignoring the fact that they basically were only acceptable because they had Brock Purdy, who got his elbow snapped in half by Hassan Reddick.
The revitalization of Sam Darnold.
Exactly. We're having the Sam show out here. Watch Sam Darnold like gets them to like a 10-win season, and Matt has like a match just sitting there like.
There's California Sam Darnold is not completely egregious. It's East Coast Sam Darnold that was a problem.
This is his best offense he's had. He's got a top 5 defense. It's the best offense he'd ever have if he actually starts. So there's no way you're gonna put him over the fucking number 2 overall quarterback he just took over a couple years ago.
I mean, look who's talking there, Captain Jets.
Yeah, that's true.
Listen,
you guys are trying to trade the whole house to try to get a quarterback over your number 3.
I heard now they're not even like. I heard now that the offer is standing as like they're not even trading a first. It's a couple seconds and like a third.
I'm willing to. I bet you anything. There's either 2 scenarios going to happen. 1, I don't think they're going to give up a first round pick at all. 2, I could just see a draft day thing where they just switch first rounders and just move back from 13 to 15 with the Packers, and then just add in like a second and a player and whatever else and get it done. But I don't think like you're going to see a future first round pick go for Aaron Rodgers. I don't think it's going to happen.
Apparently, according to Peter Schrager and like 3 other insiders have gone on like McAfee and fucking Cowherd and all these other people. Everything that's holding this trade up is the compensatory, like if he plays this long picks, like how like the Colts had to give up a first rounder if Carson played 75% of the snaps, like one of those kind of picks. And I feel like that's hysterical because if Rodgers plays for 2 more years with the Jets, I don't know. I think Rodgers, this is it. Like it's 2 years and he's done.
If he could commit to second year with us, I would give up a first. But there's just non-committal after this year. I just don't want to give up that first for just 1 year.
His contract's up. So wait, he signed this contract. 2 years ago.
I also got to pay him it was like 2 years ago, I think. But I also got to pay him like $40 million or $60 million, whatever it is. So,
I mean, he just wants to go to San Francisco so bad. Don't forget,
Not
that's the team that's his hometown team that snubbed him. He just wants to end his career in San Francisco.
Look, he's been responsible for San Francisco winning plenty of playoff games. He does not need to do them any more favors.
That's why he wants to end his career there. He wants to end his career on a winning team, winning franchise.
He's going to have to end it there, he's going to have to end it in 2024 with them, I guess.
Yeah. That 3rd round pick's going to look real nice in Green Bay, though.
When Green Bay spends it on some guy who's never going to see the fucking light of day.
No, they're going to spend it on another linebacker in the 3rd round and just forget about it.
Like another Blake Martinez who's going to be out of the league in 8 years.
Yeah. Hey, he's going to have a great 8-year run, though.
Exactly.
I just love the Packer fans that are like, we don't have to trade him, dude. It's like, no, you're right. Keep him, pay him $6 to ride the bench, and just let Jordan Love play. And then you'll be in fucking cap casualty fucking jail forever.
I watched Jordan Love play live. And honestly, I was like, you know what? It's not bad. He wasn't terrible against the Eagles secondary. I was like, all right, this kid can actually kind of read a defense a little bit. But his one good play was he threw a dig route to freaking Christian Watson, who may be the fastest human being I've ever seen run in a live speed.
It ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, I could do that if you want me to. If I could throw a 10-yard in route and watch it go 50 every time, I'd do it every single play. Tom Brady won 7 Super Bowls doing it.
I mean, Trey Lance got drafted because of Christian Watson, so.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Mac Jones got drafted because of Devontae Smith and the rest of that wide receiver core.
Yeah. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a bunch of we talked a lot of football today, but listen, if you ever want to see that shit in person or go see baseball or basketball games, ladies and gentlemen, we have an amazing sponsor of Belly Sports. It is the Friends of SeatGeek. Josh, you of course got our ad read. What can our friends at SeatGeek give us right now for Belly Up listeners?
Yeah, I mean, SeatGeek is amazing. I've been using it for a while, and it really is probably one of my favorites just because the app is super easy to use. You go in there, you can see the entire layout of the whatever arena you're going to, whether you're going to a football game, basketball game, any kind of sports game, or even a concert, whatever the case may be. You can look at the map, see exactly where you're sitting. The thing I love about SeatGeek is not only do they lay it out easy for you, you've got a green dot that means you're getting a good deal. They've also got yellow for a moderate deal and red for not so good of a deal. So they tell you right up front, here's a good deal. And you can zoom in on those green dots and see exactly where you're sitting in the row and everything. And that's something that most places like your other redistributors for tickets don't really tell you. So that's one thing I love about SeatGeek, some great prices. And for everyone who wants to try to use them out, go over to SeatGeek.com or download the SeatGeek app and use the code BELLYUP for $20 off your first purchase. Really is an amazing site, an amazing platform to go over and check out your seats for really any kind of concert or sporting event, whatever the case may be.
Very nice. And also our other sponsor is our friends over at Muller Bros. Listen, you want to look stylish, you want to look good. Listen, I'm a golfer. I play maybe like 3, 4, 5 times a month, and I love it. One of the biggest things I learned with when I got my polo from Muller Bros, I got my nice digital camo one. I got the, I think it was like the weird teal one. It still is in the mail. It hasn't been sent to me yet, but it kind of matches this D-backs teal because, I'm feeling my D-backs this year, plus in the West. But listen, Muller Bros, comfortable polo. Listen, I wore the gray camo last weekend when I played around. I shot like shit, but that's because I'm terrible at golf. It's not because the polos ain't comfy. They also have hats available. They have socks. They've got listen. Go check out morebros.com. Promo code BELLYUP for 15% off. Amazing golf apparel. I'm actually a fan. I'm about to buy my second or third polo, depending on if this teal actually shows up. I'm going to ask for my refund if it doesn't show up. That's also on the USPS. That's not in Muller Bros. That was stupid shit. Either way, morebros.com. Promo code BELLYUP for 15% off. Amazing golf apparel. And official sponsor of Belly Up Sports, the Belly Up Sports Podcast Network. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about the hour 30 mark. So I think it's time to start plugging other people's shit. Josh, where can we find your amazing content?
You can find me over. The best place to find me is honestly just go to rising2.com. It's risingto.com. We've got everything as far as our audio and videos. You can also find us on YouTube, wherever you listen to podcasts. It's Rising to the Occasion. We just have a good time talking about sports, and I think we're trying to work in getting some guests and stuff like that on the show, kind of working that in more often. And so, that's something that we just haven't been good at doing in the past. But we try to post as much as we can. So check us out, rising2.com, or over on YouTube, wherever you listen to your podcasts.
All right. And where can we find these two handsome devils at? Gentlemen, where can we find y'all at for your amazing content?
Yeah, let's let them know.
Engine? No, you're the engine. Go ahead.
All right. Well, as the engine, you can find us at pretty much all the social media links. High Low Sports Podcast. YouTube, we're live every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Catch us there. Twitter, Twitch, Facebook. Everywhere you see stuff, we're usually talking about sports or food or something in between as well. So come hang out with us.
And also be sure to check out Mondays. DJ's rocking out mock draft Mondays up until the draft every Monday. Brand new mock draft.
Nice.
So check that out over on our YouTube page. Yeah. So
it's DJ's like that friend I have who I have to copy out his homework at least once. But gentlemen, you can find me, Matt, and Mason's amazing content at Korner Booth Pod on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. You can find me at Belly Up Jared and at Korner Booth Jared on everything else. Twitter is weird about me changing my name, apparently. You can find Matt at Korner Booth Matt, one of the best TikTok personalities around. This dude carries our TikTok and Instagram game. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you stopping by. Shout out to our amazing sponsors, Muller Bros, SeatGeek, Candidates. We love all y'all so much. We'll see you on Tuesday for we made it, our last segment of our NFL draft prep. We're doing defensive back, corner, safeties, plus maybe we might do our part 2 of our mock draft. And of course, it is the 250th episode of the Korner Booth Podcast. We made it somehow to 250. I don't know how the fuck we've made it. I've gone through 1,000 co-hosts because I'm so hard to deal with apparently. But Matt and Mason are the two best I've ever had. Yes, I know that was intentionally to hurt some people. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you for stopping by. Check out, of course, Hilo Sports and the Rising to the Occasion. And enjoy your weekend. Also, happy birthday shout out to my sister Helena. Peace.